Yesterday, as the April 15th tax filing deadline loomed, anti-tax Tea Party rallies dotted the county. Even San Diego County Supervisor Bill Horn took a swipe at taxes.
Thank you for coming out. You know, we're joining Tea Partiers and other communities throughout the nation protesting the fact that Washington is wasting our money. Sacramento is wasting our money. We want to send a message loud and clear that there is change coming. That's what the president requested, and that change is coming in November, and we're going to turn him out of office, period.
Well, with me to analyze the political influence of the Tea Party is Tony Perry, San Diego bureau chief of the Los Angeles Times. Why is the Tea Party movement growing right now?
Well, Tea Party movement has those three things that you need for a good, strong, growing grassroots movement. The civil rights had it, anti-war in the 60s had it. They have a sense of grievance. They're angry. They have a sort of unified worldview. They've got their heroes and their villains and their rhetoric. And three, they've got a place to organize. Civil rights, it was in the churches, anti-war, the campuses. These folks basically organize on the internet, and the radio talk show boys and Fox News. So they've got the fixings. Now, will they be able to wield real political power? That's still yet to be proven. Politics is real hard, or more people would be good at it.
But before you wield political power, you have to have political goals. What are their goals?
Well, that's true. Their goals are pretty narrow at this point. Just less taxes for things I don't like and continue those taxes for things I do like. As one Tea Partier was quoted on, I think, MSNBC as saying, "I'm proud to be a taxpayer, but I could be just as proud at half the amount." So they want less. It's not very formalized. It's not very nuanced. On the other hand, mass movements need not be when we have an election.
Does San Diego provide a good growing ground for the Tea Party movement?
Well, I think yes and no. We have that innate conservatism here that is always here, good, bad, or indifferent, rain or shine. On the other hand, this is anti-tax central, certainly our local taxation for our city governments. One reason why the city is starving, because we don't have the taxes other folks have. So in one sense, yes. In the other sense, I think it's hard to build up a sense of grievance, certainly if you look at San Diego and its tax structure.
But you heard what Bill Horn said. He said, you know, stop wasting our money. I mean, is that the call, the cry of the Tea Party movement? And I would think they have fodder here in San Diego.
Well, they are attempting nationwide that most difficult of things. They are attempting to defeat incumbent members of the United States Congress. Nothing is more difficult. The stats show what? 97, 98% of all incumbents are reelected. Maybe if you get a weak first-term incumbent, you might knock them off. But generally speaking, the passionate rhetoric of the spring fades considerably by November.
So you don't see them then making a difference this June in the primary or in November in the general, having to do with local races?
I don't see them making much of a difference here locally. Nationwide, there are some weak incumbents, I'm told. Also, this should be a good year for Republicans. I know the Tea Party is not officially a Republican organ, but it's certainly affiliated with them in some ways. Nationwide, it ought to be a good Republican year. They're out of power. There's two unpopular wars. There's an economy that's still in the dumper. This ought to be a good year, and Tea Party folks should have a good shot at being one of the influencing factors.
Well, I'm just looking at the USA Gallup poll, which I thought was interesting because it says that 28% of U.S. adults call themselves supporters of the Tea Party movement. That's a significant number.
Well, it depends on how you define it, of course. If are you defining it as I don't like taxes? Well, sign me up. Sign everybody up. Those polls show you how people answer certain questions. They don't show the depth of their feeling. Do you feel so aggrieved that you will go into the streets, that you will contribute money, that you will organize, that you will sign people up, that you'll find a candidate? That's the hard lifting of politicking. Calling a radio talk show while you're driving to work, that's fairly easy. Going to a nice rally in the sunshine, fairly easy. The hard lifting in politics is just that, hard.
But it seems to me they have more ammunition now. I mean, yes, they're against big government. Yes, they don't want to see their money wasted. But now they have a president that they're targeting. They have health care reform that they're targeting.
Sure, and the party that they're most affiliated with, the Republican Party, is out of power. Traditionally, the out of power party gained some seats in one of these elections. So yeah, this should be a good year for them. If they're going to make an initial impact, they ought to be able to do it now. But it's, again, going to be very, very difficult, particularly when you take on incumbent members of the United States Congress.